I'm going to order this hearing or roundtable of the Committee of the Whole of the Council of the District of Columbia. I'm Phil Mendelson, Chairman of the Council and Chair of the Committee of the Whole. Today is I'll know in a moment, Thursday, December 8th, 2022. The time is 10:44 in the morning. And this hearing is, or roundtable, is to consider the mayor's nomination for appointment to the State Athletic Commission. Two individuals, Larry Carroll and Sarah Navarro. PR 24-1050, District of Columbia State Athletics Commission, Larry Carroll, Confirmation Resolution of 2022, and PR 24-1051, District of Columbia State Athletics Commission, Sarah Navarro, Confirmation Resolution of 2022. The mayor submitted both of these nominations on November 10th, 2022. They were referred to the Committee of the Whole. Ordinarily, we don't move this quickly on nominations. The mayor had submitted, I believe there were 4 other nominations that the council confirmed just a few weeks ago. And my view was let's try to complete all of the confirmation process for nominations to the State Athletics Commission. Looking at the hearing notice, and I want to clarify, even though this may not make a lot of sense to the public, this is a roundtable, not a hearing. Under the council's rules, a hearing has 15 days notice in the District of Columbia Register, and this had less notice than that. So this is a roundtable. The stated purpose of PR 24-1050 is to confirm the reappointment of Larry Carroll to the District of Columbia State Athletics Commission. And the stated purpose of PR 24-1051 is to confirm the appointment of Sarah Navarro to the commission. The District of Columbia State Athletics Commission is an independent agency that oversees the District of Columbia State Athletic Association. The State Athletic Association is an association of District of Columbia public charter, and independent schools, both private and parochial. The State Athletic Association participants share knowledge and best practices to enhance student-athlete achievement through athletic programming and to provide quality life learning experiences. The purpose of this roundtable is to receive testimony from the nominees and public witnesses, if any, as to the fitness of the nominees for service to the board. Generally, I have hearings on nominations. Many of my colleagues and their committees do not. I think this is an important part of the process to give the public an opportunity to weigh in if there are concerns. And if there isn't public testimony, that suggests that there isn't concern. And it also provides the committee an opportunity to just know a little bit more about, in this case, the State Athletics Commission. So we have 2 witnesses, and they're both the nominees, Larry Carroll and Sarah Navarro. They should be let in, which they have been. I'm going to recognize Ms. Navarro first for a statement, and then Mr. Carroll for a statement, and then I'll have a few questions. I don't know that this will be a very long hearing. So Ms. Navarro, welcome. My apologies for keeping you waiting. And why don't you proceed?
Wonderful, thank you. Good morning, Chairman Mendelson, members of the council and staff, and members of the Washington, D.C. community. I am Sarah Navarro, a member of the District of Columbia Interscholastic Athletics Association and Senior Deputy Chief of Secondary Schools for D.C. Public Schools. And I'm honored to testify before you today regarding my appointment as a member of the D.C. State Athletics Commission. I'd like to thank Mayor Mariel Bowser for the nomination and Chairman Mendelson for holding this roundtable. As a resident of the Brookland neighborhood in Washington, D.C., a leader at D.C. Public Schools, and a longtime athlete, coach, and athletics advocate, I believe I will be a good addition to the District of Columbia State Athletics Association. Growing up, participating in sports played a huge part in my life. It taught me how to win, how to lose, and how to be a good teammate and a good sport, no matter what happens. I went through some difficult times in high school, and I didn't feel particularly connected to my studies. causing me to want to drop out. It was my tennis team that kept me grounded and engaged and gave me a reason to keep my grades up. I trained hard during the school year and coached tennis to younger kids in the summers. I ended up competing at a Division I university, and tennis remains an important part of my life today. As an educator, I firmly believe in the role of athletics in supporting our students holistically. After graduating from college, I knew I wanted to spend my career advancing social justice and ensuring that all youth have genuine opportunities to reach their full potential. I worked as a wilderness counselor for at-risk youth, started a transition program for teens in the foster care system, contributed to national policy initiatives to identify and eliminate institutional racism in education, juvenile justice, and child welfare. And I served as the principal of the Maya Angelou Young Adult Learning Center in Ward 7. In 2016, I joined the DC Public Schools team as the director of Pathways. In this role, I helped implement Pathways, a program designed to support our students who are most under-resourced and at risk of falling behind. I also led the redesign of our alternative schools, now known as Opportunity Academies. One of the key components in this redesign was adding athletics programming to these schools, so our older students who did not meet criteria for participation in the District of Columbia Interscholastic Athletic Association high school sports could still compete. I'm proud to say that this is the 5th year of the Opportunity League, where we offer basketball, bowling, and track. As my work at DCPS grew to include our programming and policies in the areas of student engagement, graduation, and college and career and post-secondary persistence, I had the pleasure of adding athletics to my portfolio in February of 2021. Since taking on this work, I've helped the DCIAA team successfully oversee the return to in-person sports, implement the student athlete vaccine mandate, and add high school wrestling to our offerings. I'm proud to report that during school year 21-22, we had a high school participation rate in athletics that was more than 70% of the pre-pandemic participation totals. The fall sports season of this school year was a big success, and I look forward to continuing to strengthen and expand our athletics program in the city in support of our students. If confirmed for the commission, I will bring my passion as an athlete and my expertise as an educator. The DCIAA represents the largest athletics program in the District of Columbia. Stellar coordination and communication with the DC State Athletics Commission are critical in overseeing in creating a safe and robust space for athletics. The goals of the DC State Athletics Commission are to oversee the functions and operations of the DC State Athletics Association, to recommend changes to and annually improve the DCSAA handbook, to conduct athletics appeals panels and issue final decisions, and to advise the mayor, OSSI, and the council on matters related to interscholastic athletics in the district and recommend rules to regulate interscholastic athletics programs and competitions. In the time I've been involved with athletics in Washington, DC, I've been very impressed with the operation of the DC State Athletics Commission and the strides they have taken in meeting these goals and mandates. Director Kenny Owens has done a tremendous job in providing steady and thoughtful leadership to the DC State Athletics Association, and the DC State Athletics Commission is thorough and diligent. In recent years, the commission has improved the efficiency of the appeals process and contributed to important updates to the DCSAA handbook. If confirmed as a commissioner, I would work to help advance these goals. My position at DCPS allows me a good view into how the operations of the DCSAA impact on-the-ground athletics programs, and I would continue to advocate for solutions that benefit our athletes. I would offer feedback and suggestions regarding the handbook and flag any areas that need to be clarified or adjusted. While I would not serve on appeals panels to avoid any potential conflict of interest, I would work with my fellow commissioners to identify best practices in the appeal process. Finally, I would take a big picture view of athletics in the city and work with my fellow commissioners to identify high leverage actions to increase quality and access for athletics in the city. I believe that serving on the DC State Athletics Commission will help ensure that athletics programs in Washington, DC continue to provide a safe, engaging, and healthy opportunity for all of our students to thrive. I've already begun to attend the DC State Athletics Commission meetings and will commit to continue to attend regularly. I will bring an on-the-ground perspective to the board, and I'm positioned to ensure any follow-up actions resulting from our meetings are seen through at DCPS. Thank you so much for the opportunity to testify today, and I welcome any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Navarro. And Larry Carroll, do you have a statement? Then I'll have a few questions for each of you. Mr. Carroll.
Hello, how you doing? Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, Chairman Miller.
Can you turn your camera on?
Oh,
It will be a beautiful day if I can see you.
how you turn it on? Oh, start video. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Good morning, Chairman Millicent.
Good morning.
Members of the committee, whole and staff. My name is Larry Carroll. I would like to thank you for holding this hearing. Also want to thank Mayor Marion Bowser for nominating me again to serve on the District of Columbia State Athletic Commission. When I initially joined the commission in 2020, I wanted to make an impact, serve as a role model to the youth in our area, and show they can improve themselves using athletics as an outlet from the streets. I'm still passionate about bringing sports and physical training to the youth in the DC area. Specifically, I would like to see an increase in participation for youth in the underprivileged areas. Although we were able to meet via Zoom to discuss youth programs and review appeal cases, I'm ready to help the commission to do more now that the restriction of the pandemic have been lifted. My athletic journey started right here in Washington, D.C., where I grew up in a poor section of the city. From an early age, participating in all forms of athletics, getting an education, and gaining knowledge in regards to physical training and conditioning were my ways of breaking the poverty and the crime cycle. I saw so many kids in my neighborhood struggle. I won numerous athletic awards over the years, including national and world powerlifting championships. The drive to continue improving and make an impact is still there. I am constantly reading about new sports and or techniques so that I can develop training to target specific needs of any given sport. Throughout my career in fitness and athletic training, which span over 30 years, I have trained everyone from the weekend warrior to the hardcore athlete. I spent a significant amount of time training and motivating children and teenagers. My goal is to teach kids how to become healthy and strong while having fun in the process. I'm ready to serve as a resource to the commission with my wealth of knowledge and experience. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today, and I'm looking forward to answering any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll. Thank you, each of you, both for your testimony and your willingness to serve. I have a few questions. Mr. Carroll, you've been on the commission, so this is a reappointment.
Yes.
And Ms. Navarro, because of your work at DCPS, you have some familiarity with the commission?
Yes, I do, sir. And the former member, Dwayne Foster, served on the commission previously for DC Public Schools, and he's transitioned to another district. And so I'm excited about this opportunity to step in.
Okay. I don't remember this statute. Does it require somebody from DCPS to be on the commission?
I'm not sure about the statutory requirement. I know I was asked to join because of my position and excited to serve because of so, but I'm not exactly sure what the statute states.
Yeah, I think what it says is as a District of Columbia Interscholastic Athletic Association member, and DCPS is a member. Just a moment. It would show her, show me her. No, the statute, go back to window. I'm taking too much time looking away from the thing. So it's number D. All right, D. Okay. So you both know how much time is involved. Do each of you have the time to give to the commission, Mr. Carroll
Yes, I do.
and Ms. Navarro?
Yes, sir, I do. And like I mentioned in my testimony, I have already begun attending meetings regularly. And we continue to work in partnership, but excited for this opportunity to lean in more.
Ms. Navarro, because you work for DCPS, there could potentially be conflicts of interest. You mentioned in your testimony that you would not participate on appeals panels. Is that going to handicap the commission, do you think?
I think it is customary for the DCIAA representative to not participate in appeals because of we have our appeals process first, so it wouldn't be appropriate because I'm involved in that one, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to be involved in a next level appeal. I think that has been the way the commission has operated and has been able to do so very successfully with the support of the other commissioners to be able to hear the appeals.
Do you see any other possible conflicts of interest that could come up?
I don't anticipate any other conflicts of interest, and I just intend to be, open and honest and make sure that I'm flagging anything that may feel like a conflict of interest given my role.
Mr. Carroll, so you've served. Have there been instances where you've had a conflict of interest?
No, sir.
Do you foresee any possible conflicts of interest that could come up?
No, sir, I do not.
So I don't exactly have this question well phrased, but Mr. Carroll, how do you think the commission could do better?
How did I think commission can do better?
Yeah.
Well, I think commission, since I've been on it, been great. I just, for my part, I think that, for me, I want to expand, like I said in my testimony, to underprivileged areas, to introduce kids to new sports and try to get more participation in new sports and the sports that we already have. So on that side, I think that because of the pandemic, we wasn't able to really do a lot, but, through Zoom. So I think with that, I think that's how we can get better. We try to get more kids participate in sports.
I think one of you mentioned in your testimony that you'd like to see athletic opportunities or sports be increased or expanded. How much room is there for expanding sports opportunities? Mr. Carroll and then Ms. Navarro.
I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think there's a lot of kids that are limited to certain sports, and I think the expanding to the sports is big, it's huge. It just how can I say it? Trying to get people to know about. Expose kids to them, expose different kids to all the sports that are available. So I think that's the best word that I could explain, and try to get kids exposed to the different sports that are out there. So.
Okay. Ms. Navarro, how would you answer that question?
Yeah, so I would agree with my colleague, and just to sort of piggyback on that, I think there's always room for expansion. There are always more sports we can offer in different schools and around the city. Our constraints are always budget and facilities, right? So those are things that are surmountable, and we've been really fortunate to receive a great budget for athletics, and hope to continue to have that budget expand. And then in terms of facilities, I know we've had a lot of advocacy in the city to just try to make sure we have all the right facilities and spaces for our students. Things like, I know an indoor track is kind of at the top of the list right now for a wish list on what would be great for Washington, D.C. students, so we could have competitions right here in our city. But things like that, I think, are workable, and we're really fortunate to have such a supportive city that's interested in continuing and expanding. athletics opportunities, because we know the connection between athletics and success. We know it's something that it keeps our students in school. It helps them keep their grades up. It can provide opportunities for post-secondary success, such as scholarships. And overall, it's just a really healthy and proactive thing to see our young people participating in.
Now, there was a piece on NPR this morning about soccer, and apparently these, I guess they're called soccer clubs that I think families have to pay to get into, and they're not so much in the district, but they're DC residents who go outside the district to play. Can we be doing more with soccer, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, I think we can. I think we can do a lot more with soccer and all the sports to in the city to expand and affordable for kids and parents to participate. So yes.
Ms. Navarro?
I think we can always do more. I think there are always a continuum of opportunities available both within our high schools, elementary schools, and middle schools. And then there's also the option for families who are interested in, I'm not sure what the NPR piece was, but I know I'm familiar with, travel teams, and soccer can be really competitive. Folks play at the club level. Our goal is to make sure that all students have access within DC Public Schools to a great soccer program, both our young men and our young women. And we have quite a lot of offerings, but there's always room for growth and expansion.
Let me just check with staff, see if there are any other questions. I always ask this question at hearings regarding whether you have any outstanding liability for taxes, fees, or other payments to the district or federal or other state or local governments. Mr. Carroll?
No, I don't have any.
Ms. Navarro?
No, sir, I do not.
Thank you. Any final words from either of you? Don't everybody jump up at once.
Well, again, I just want to thank you for having this hearing, and I can't wait to get started if I'm reappointed.
Yeah, you probably, when you were first appointed, didn't have a hearing, but I think there's a value to it. I know a little bit more about the State Athletics Commission. Also, I think having a hearing speaks to the importance of these nominations. And as I said at the beginning, it's an opportunity for the public to come forward if they have concerns. And in that sense, it's a good thing that there aren't witnesses who are coming here to express concerns. Our plan is to put this before the full council next week. Next week is not the right week, the 20th of December. So that for this commission, all the nominations to mayor submitted to the council will have been forwarded. I was going to conclude this hearing or roundtable. I want to thank you, each of you, for your willingness to serve and for taking the time today. And again, my apologies that we started late. This has been a hearing on 2 nominations to the District of Columbia State Athletics Commission. The record in this matter will close on Monday, 5 p.m. on Monday, December 19th, 2022. The time is 11:07, and this roundtable is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.